let's jump into some strategies for the 510K process. What are some tips and tricks for success? How do you maximize your chances for successful clearance to market your device? Here's a little nuance. Notice that I said clearance, and that words are important to FDA. 510Ks are cleared; they're not approved. If somebody in your marketing department wants to say this is 510K approved, be careful. FDA can get bent out of shape about that. They don't like that. PMA devices are approved. 510Ks are cleared.
Okay.
A subtlety, but important to FDA. Okay, here's some ideas, and I'll just go through these. And now's your chance. Pick up your pen, take a few notes. Number one, make sure that your procedure for writing and submitting 510Ks is consistent with current FDA guidance. Most companies do have a procedure, I hope you do, for writing and submitting 510Ks. Don't just implement that procedure and let 10 years drift by and you haven't gone back to check. They've issued guidance, they've changed their perspective. So keep an eye on that. Number two, use a 510K submission template. I think this helps tremendously with having consistent submissions. It also keeps RA specialists in line with current FDA thinking. So if you put together a template, then your format will be consistent of where you put what. If you submit a lot of 510Ks, they get used to your format at FDA. They know what to expect. But be careful when using boilerplate verbiage. Say, for example, about your shelf life testing. Always read it over and make sure it's absolutely accurate for this particular product. It's a pitfall. Sometimes people work up a couple of paragraphs that talk about our shelf life testing, our biocompatibility testing, and they put it in every 510K.
Like one size fits all.
Exactly, and it may fit most, but the one time it doesn't fit all, you will have submitted inaccurate data to FDA, and you're going to find yourself scrambling, probably submitting a follow-up 510K, trying to explain your way out of how you just signed a document saying everything in here is truthful and accurate. Actually, it isn't. Can we go back and erase this part? So, okay. Number three, maybe the most important piece of advice in writing your 510K. That should get your attention.
Yes.
Tell a story. Don't just put all of the test reports together in a document and have each of your sections of the 510K say, this device passed all tests, see Appendix A for the report. Remember, the FDA knows nothing about your device. Start out, this is what I typically do, start out by describing the clinical need. Then tell them how your company designed a device that meets that need. Tell them who your target customers will be and why. Remember, you're not trying to say that your device is better, just substantially equivalent to another device. Nor are you trying to sell your device to the FDA. So don't just use marketing's collateral.
What you talked about earlier about being approved, right, with the PMA versus the FDA saying that what's the word? Sorry. Cleared. Yeah, cleared, because they're clearing that what you're saying that it does the same type of thing. That is why it's cleared, but the risk is still on you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Well put. Exactly true. So only after you have painted all of this picture that I described do you start telling them why it is justified that this product is safe and effective. Meaning you're risk mitigations, your testing, how you label it, and so forth. I like to think of your 510K as like a college thesis. You're going to write it, you're going to rewrite it, you're going to submit it, and then you're going to defend it. Yeah. So you have to think through what you're presenting to FDA, like you're telling a story to them. Explain it all to them. They don't know what you know. Just keep that in mind.
I think that's a great example when you think about, to me, a huge aspect of regulatory affairs as a profession is that emotional maturity, how you de-escalate risk, and how you lead stakeholders. And obviously, you don't have to be an expert at every single section. You're having people that support you in those different sections, but you've got to understand all the data that goes in there. And to your point, being able to defend it.
Yep, exactly. There's a perception, I think it's kind of a standing joke among regulatory professionals that other departments picture us as simply taking data from all other departments, stapling them together, mailing it off to FDA. Why do we pay these people to do this? But there's a lot more to it than that. There is, as I said, writing that story. There's also the art of persuasion, which is a soft skill that's very important and critical. You have to have that integrity. You have to tell them everything exactly accurately, and present the data. But in the negotiations back and forth with them, you're advocating on behalf of your company.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of skills involved in doing this.
Hear me, would you speak to me when I open up? And I forward my thoughts to you, but sometimes I'd say you're thinking too much, and I don't want to